definitely make it snow today in Texas.
This is really cool.
It's a great medium. It's a beautiful art.
Frozen art.
It's a dying art at the same time. A lot of people don't hand sculpt anymore. More people are going to the computer side of it, but we're living proof that you can still keep this art alive by just hands and creativity. Reverend Butter here from Houston, Texas. You gotta be in love doing this because it's not the easiest thing to do. And after all your hard work, it disappears, it's gone. Some people choose ice sculpting, other people get chosen by ice sculpting.
I came to Houston in 1967 to be a chef at Brennan's. I bought a piece of property and had a lot of lumber on it, so I had bought the chainsaw to cut the trees down. So I decided I'd take the chainsaw and see how it works, and it worked perfectly. Instead of using 4 hours, 5 hours for a block to chisel it out, it took maybe 20 minutes.
I've seen people have it at weddings and stuff, but I've never seen them actually making it.
These guys are keeping it true to the game.
It's pretty gangster to me.
Houston doesn't get a lot of snow, and we're certainly having it today.
Juan Garza's work never ends, and unfortunately for some, Garza has lifetime job security.
All day, a lot graffiti, and 5 days a week.
Garza is one of 3 two-man crews that cruises the city in search of and in hopes of cleaning up graffiti.
The work never stops. I mean, we know that graffiti's it's practically here to stay, but we've been able to control it by quick abatement.
Martin Chavez has been on the hunt for 10 years and now heads the East End Development District's efforts to clean up that quadrant of the city. So successful that Chavez's program, through a new contract with the city of Houston that starts in about 3 weeks, will be citywide for city-owned property.
Graffiti is a public safety issue. A lot of people associate graffiti with gangs and crime. And if you take that perception, you take that graffiti away, then people don't think that the area is full of gangs and crime. So that's, I think, how we help.
And let there be no mistake, graffiti is still integral messaging, especially for gangs.
It's definitely messages. Gangs do use graffiti to mark territory, to recruit, to send messages back and forth to their rivals.
Which is why, despite the 30 to 40 graffiti messages Juan Garza will eliminate today and each day, he will no doubt return to the same place soon.
A week, yeah.
So in a week somebody will write something on
Yeah, maybe again, yeah. Maybe tonight, tomorrow, I don't know.
Steve Mark, 39 News.
I got this call on the Simon Says feedback line just a few weeks ago. Now, I've been called many things in my life, but no one has ever called me this.
Steve Simon, you are an evil, evil man.
That is a strong word. You want to call me Mr. Evil?
Dr. Evil. I didn't spend 6 years in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you very much.
Listen, I have no problem with the name calling on the feedback line. It's my number, it's your opinion, so please keep calling. But being called evil kind of got me thinking. It seems more and more people have no problem throwing serious labels out there. Now, we know presidents are fair game. You heard about Glenn Beck? He had a label for President Obama.
This guy is, I believe, a racist.
This is a very strong word. And I found this image on YouTube. It's what someone called former President Bush. And we all know Sarah Palin may want to be president. And of course, that comes with labels as well.
This is a Category 5 moron we have on our hands.
Yes, labels are fair game in politics, but think about life. Think about all the other labels that are out there. Geek, nerd, jock, goth, mama's boy, daddy's girl, spoiled brat, fat, skinny, stupid, cheap, shy, slutty, matronly. Those are just some of the labels we throw out every day. However, the next time you are about to call someone out with a label, I want you to pause for a second. I want you to think how you would feel to have that label on you. Which brings us back to evil. Listen, I'm not evil. Ask my mom. All right, label me a mama's boy. But boy, these men are evil. Some of history's worst. The garbage dump of humanity from a long time ago to those evildoers former President Bush used to refer to. They all deserve this label. But do the rest of us? Well, you know the old saying, sticks and stones may break your bones. But I want you to think about how names or labels can hurt you. I'm Steve. for Simon Says.
Campaign season is in full swing. Now, Harris County can get ready to count the votes. Just 3 weeks ago, that was in doubt after $30 million worth of voting equipment was destroyed in the fire at the county's North Houston warehouse. Today, the first wave of help, Fort Bend and Tarrant County shipping loaner voting machines, soon to populate Harris County's 739 polling stations.
Well, it's a very good feeling to know that, you've had these commitments from others, but when it finally rolls through the door and you can start inventorying, testing, and prepping the equipment to deploy out into the field, it is certainly a very good feeling. This has created quite a distraction for us, but we've made tremendous progress.
15 Texas counties, a county from Colorado, and the city of Friendswood, all sending equipment to Harris County. They can do that because most counties have a surplus in elections like the upcoming one, which demands about half the voting equipment needed during a presidential election.
With the amount of equipment we've been able to purchase, rent, or borrow, we expect to have a complement of voting equipment in the field on Election Day that will more than be able to handle the turnout we anticipate.
After the August fire, Harris County quickly ordered paper ballots as a backup. As a result, voters will have the choice between paper and electronic machines. It means a little bit more of an expense for the county, which would normally spend $3 million on an election of this magnitude. The bill this year, $4 million. The arrival of these machines signifies a countdown in Harris County that's significant. 4 weeks until early voting. Of the 600 to 675,000 voters expected to cast ballots in this election, 400 to 450,000 of those will be early voters, many of them balloting at one of 37 early voting locations.
No crowds, easy to do. I can do it on my schedule.
It was not your average housewarming.
The best of what is America is here in this home.
From the media to the crowd to the speaking list, complete with Vice President Dan Quayle.
It's an honor for me. Just to be here.
All the stops were pulled out to both construct and present Marine Sergeant Eddie Wright, who lost both hands during the Iraq War, a new home.
We consider Eddie Wright our hero.
Equipped with special features from a sensor-operated toilet to easy-open cabinets to a front door that unlocks by cell phone, this Conroe house is tailored to Eddie's needs.
Either it's hot in here or I'm nervous.
But it's also designed for a family.
I hope you forgive me for doing this and putting you on the spot, Cody.
So today, Sergeant Wright started his own. In front of dozens of people, his girlfriend Cody Fife said yes.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to marry him.
But as if the new home and new wife weren't enough, Rooms to Go donated a full house of furniture.
Yeah, those are the bar stools.
An extraordinary celebration for an extraordinary American that now everyone hopes will live happily ever after.
We all know now about that Pee-wee brawl that's become a big deal. The Bay Area Football League in Pearland. Let's rewind this for a second and figure out what we can learn from this. First, the fallout. Some of the coaches have been banned, some of them for life.
You're banned.
While both teams, the Patriots and the Hurricanes, have been banned from the playoffs.
Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs?
Everyone, and I mean everyone who's seen the video by now knows it was the coaches' fault. They were the ones throwing the sucker punches. They were the ones taking off their shirts, acting like tough guys. But I want you to look closely. There's something else on this video that says so much. Look, one of the kids is trying to break up a fight, becoming a peacemaker. That says so much about the character of the kids and the stupidity of everyone else on the field. And that's what has me so upset about the situation. I feel like the Bay Area Football League missed out to have one of those teaching moments we've been hearing about lately. That a kid doesn't have to wear a helmet to use his head. Instead, now we have a bunch of 11-year-olds, upset 11-year-olds, who when they get older, may say, what the hell if someone throws a sucker punch in a game? The kids may just join in anyway because they're all going down. The kids should get to play. They could probably coach themselves. But that's not going to happen. And now this brawl in Pearland will live on the internet like this brawl at another Pee Wee football game somewhere. And this one at a Little League baseball game. Parents who lose their cool because they are not cool. And today that shouldn't come as a surprise.
But they are who we thought they were.
I'm Steve for Simon Says.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
41 years since Neil Armstrong's immortal Words from the Moon. Back here on Earth, a man-made lunar terrain prepares astronauts to go back and far beyond.
There's a lot of opportunities to maybe visit asteroids as well as return hopefully back to the moon and then on to Mars as well.
13 years ago, Joe Cosmos started Desert Research and Technology Studies, an Earth-based training for future planetary exploration. With President Barack Obama's plans to someday send man to Mars, the Desert Rats mission this year has NASA testing the next generation of space technology.
Most of our testing activities and all our operational activities for the past good 25 years plus have been pretty much oriented around low Earth orbit. And so now, we're planning to venture back out past low Earth orbit, and this is the way we're going to be learning.
This is the new space rover. It allows astronauts to live inside the cabin while comfortably exploring without spacesuits on.
They can drive there, hop out of the cabin in about 10 minutes, do 1 to 2 hours of exploration, doing science, get back in about 10 minutes.
And this work pod hosts a livable, movable laboratory that could conceivably travel with a Martian mission as an outpost where explorers live and work.
We even have a veggie lab in there where you can grow some vegetables.
At its closest, Mars is 36 million miles away. But at NASA, it's as close as this rock pile in Houston. Jason Valentine, 39 News.